You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning to you and welcome to San Diego. Glad you're with us here. It is 6 in the morning. I'm Netta Iranpour.
And I'm Evan Irani. Yeah, welcome to all the visitors, maybe here for the Holiday Bowl parade or the Holiday Bowl itself. This is San Diego as we kick off the start of it. Foggy start to the day. We've had this virtually every morning over the past week or so, and it's something that we're going to contend with over the course of the weekend and into next week as well. Foggy skies out there. Temperatures by the afternoon expected to be in the 60s. We should hold on to some of that cloud cover, at least along the coast and even towards some of our inland valleys. And those temperatures aren't going to be all that much of a change from what we've seen. 60s continue for today all the way through the weekend. It's not until we get into about the middle of next week that we'll see a little bit of a warm up. Details on that in just a few. Netta?
All right, pretty mild though. May need a light sweater today. Thank you, Evan. And now this morning, the city of San Diego warning you about the state's new so-called daylighting law. It's meant to protect people crossing intersections. So they put out this graphic right here showing you where you will not be allowed to park within 20 feet of street corners, so where it's red right there. This is designed to reduce the risk of injuries by making it easier for drivers to see pedestrians, cyclists, or other cars coming around the corner who might be hidden by parked vehicles, especially children.
Just shorter and smaller and harder to see, and also less predictable, right? They're more likely to run out or not be paying as close attention. And so as much as we can do to teach kids to look both ways and pause for traffic, it's also good to give drivers a head start to see them.
Now, warnings for violations will be issued starting January 1st, so next week. But starting March 1st, drivers could be ticketed regardless of whether the curb is painted red or not. The fine for the violation will be just over $77.
And right now, a wave of storms is moving across parts of the country, snarling what's set to be a record holiday travel season. Today and Sunday are expected to be busy at the airports. Already this morning, dozens of flights have been canceled in the U.S. That's according to FlightAware. There's a handful of delays out of San Diego International. Severe weather in southeast Texas spawned some tornadoes. In the Pacific Northwest, heavy snow caused temporary road closures and spinouts. The National Weather Service says more storms are expected to make their way across the country throughout the upcoming weekend, dumping more rain and snow in parts of the country. And most holiday travelers are driving, according to AAA. Today, the worst times to hit the road are between 3 and 7 p.m. The best travel time is before 2 p.m. We usually say the earlier the better, it seems like.
Yeah.
San Diego County's average gas price today is at $4.49. And Washington State will face Syracuse in the Holiday Bowl today, which will be played at Snapdragon Stadium for the very first time.
So the Washington State Cougars, they've lost 3 consecutive games, and they'll be playing in the Holiday Bowl for the 5th time. Syracuse Orange have won 3 consecutive games. They're playing in the Holiday Bowl for their first time. This will be the second meeting between these two teams. Syracuse defeated Washington State 52-25. And that was back in 1979. So, of course, a whole different game today. The Holiday Bowl was played at since demolished San Diego Stadium from 1978 to 2019. And then again at Petco Park, transforming into a football field. That was in 2022 and 2023. So the game will start at Snapdragon 5 p.m. today. The first 10,000 fans will get free tickets to SeaWorld. A little added bonus for you to get there early.
I think that's a nice incentive,
Yeah,
right?
those can be pricey tickets. And now the Holiday Bowl parade will take over the waterfront this morning, so here very soon. And did you know this is America's largest balloon parade?
Yeah, larger than the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Thousands of people are expected to go see it, and that's where we find CBS 8's Regina Ureta live downtown with details on the parade and the economic boost from the Holiday Bowl events. Regina, thousands of people from around the country expected to be making their way downtown.
That's right. Many people are going to be taking advantage of the Holiday Bowl festivities. Now, right behind me, this is one of the helium trucks that they will be using to help blow up these balloons that you'll be seeing during the parade, right? Because they have balloons, floats, not much action going on right now. I see a lot of sound right here. Maybe we'll start to see some balloons blowing up in just a couple of minutes. But again, in just a couple of hours, this area will be packed with so many fans, right? The Syracuse fans and Washington State fans, all here for the Holiday Bowl festivities. According to the Holiday Bowl's website, more than 100,000 people are expected to attend. The parade starts at 10 a.m. and will feature unique floats, giant balloons, marching bands, and drill teams. Now, if you're interested in seeing it, the parade begins at Harbor Drive and Grape Street. It runs through Pacific Highway and Harbor Drive. And on top of the thousands of people expected here today, Holiday Bowl officials say they also estimate that these events will generate upwards of $20 million each year for the local economy. From hotels to shops to bars and restaurants and even parking, it's expected to bring even more revenue to San Diego. So here's what businesses are saying.
The money, we welcome the money, so bring it all in. We're ready for it, We're just here for the fun too.
And so hopefully after the game as well, for the first time, the bowl is being held at Snapdragon Stadium instead of Petco Park, where it had been held for the past couple of seasons. But again, here at Waterfront Park, in just a couple of hours, things are going to be looking a lot different. We're going to start seeing a lot more people heading here this morning. I'll send it back to you, Netta and Devin.
Yeah, you might notice those big balloons in the sky. Looks like we're hoping that fog will clear up, and we're going to be streaming the parade in its entirety starting at 10 a.m. on our free streaming channel, CBS 8+. That channel is available on Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Just download the app, and you'll be all set to watch the parade in full. And one of the most anticipated events for both new car buyers and car enthusiasts is rolling back into America's finest city.
We're talking about the San Diego International Auto Show. It kicks off tomorrow. So there will be debuts and new releases that are not in showrooms yet. The first time you'll see a lot of new cars and the new things they can do with technology. Organizers say they also have the more electric vehicles this year since those are so popular. And for the first time, exotic car brand McLaren, see a couple of those right here in our backlot. They will exhibit the performance road cars at the convention center. It's all happening downtown Convention Center tomorrow through January 1st. Sunday is Family Day. That means kids ages 12 and under are free. So being at the convention center, they just take over. It smells like that new car smell throughout the whole place. It's really a good time to go check out some new rides.
For the kids who can't drive yet, they can dream big and think of the cars they're hoping to drive, and then the parents can just look at the price tags and think about.
It's like your only chance, really, to push a bunch of buttons and cars you're not supposed to be in.
Right. No, I mean they're incredible cars. They're beautiful. So kind of a once in a lifetime thing to be able to go sit inside some of them. Looking outside as we kick off your Friday morning. A happy Friday to you. We made it to the end of the week. I know this has been a bit of an odd week for many who have had the Christmas time to kind of New Year's to lay low, perhaps relax with the family. We've seen so many families out along the coast taking their morning walks and a lot of people getting their exercise in. Cloudy skies are going to be pretty common for today out along the coast and inland. We will have some opportunities there for some of the clouds to break apart and yield some sun, but temperatures are going to stay on the cooler side of average most likely. 63 out along the coast, 64 inland, 57 across the mountains, and 76 for the deserts. Out the door right now, we're in the 40s. 47 right now in Carlsbad, 42 in Santee, and 46 in Chula Vista. Those clouds are starting to really reconvene. Now, in most cases, these clouds aren't too low down to the ground. We haven't seen tremendous issues related to fog, but it will be something that we watch for over the next several hours. And while satellite radar doesn't do the greatest job, infrared at least, of making out that dense fog along the coast, once the sun does come up, we'll have better indication of what that really looks like this morning. Now, beach hazard statement is in effect through Sunday at 4 p.m. We see wave heights starting to drop in their overall height. Yesterday, that was closer to 6 to 10 feet, sets of 13-foot waves. Now we're at 4 to 7 feet, still elevated, and not enough for a high surf warning, but enough for a beach hazard statement that will remain in effect over the course of the weekend. So still check in with a lifeguard. Over the course of the weekend into early next week, which is New Year's Eve, we'll start to see those temperatures climbing. 70s are back in the forecast around that time. We'll look at that a little bit more in the 7-day forecast in just a bit. Checking in on traffic, drive times outside are not that bad. We've been smooth sailing all morning. One spot where you might run into some trouble is, however, the Coronado Bridge. 35 miles per hour to get across. I mean, a 4-minute commute is not all that bad, so just consider that that's one spot getting across the bridge and maybe onto onto the on-ramp from the 5 freeway, you could run into some slight difficulty, but besides that, the 163 northbound, 8 westbound, looking pretty good as we head through the morning. Let's take a look at your border wait times. San Ysidro and Otay Mesa, both ports of entry, going to take you the same amount of time. That is 60 minutes to get across, 1 hour in total. Yesterday was pretty slow going across the ports of entry, and so today is a little bit faster, but still going to take you about an hour.